It's like Mr. Shiipty and welcome back to the channel. So today we are finally getting around to doing that Q&A that I promised forever ago, and I am so excited to do it today because I have some footage that I can use in the background. It's just me creating some Sims that I am planning to play with here soon. But without further ado, let's hop into the first question. The first question comes from Ty Tucker. Ty says, how do you create your Sims so perfect? Oh my goodness, this just makes me giggle because I feel like my Sims are not perfect. Oh my goodness, but thank you so much. You guys are always so kind to me when I create my Sims. I personally, if you're more so asking like how do I create my Sims, I say that I take a very long extended amount of time. I've talked about this before, but I use a lot of skin details, and I also have been recently using like blushes and highlighters and things like that. And so my favorite skin detail pack is actually by OK.ru, and I do have it linked on my resource page on my Tumblr, so you guys should definitely go check that out. I will actually have it linked down below for you guys. But I just do a lot of skin details and a lot of skin overlays. Question is from Islau, I think is how you pronounce it. Where did you find your reshade? So my reshade is actually by XUrbanSimsX, and it has taken me forever to be able to find a reshade that I absolutely love, that is just a slight upgrade from like the normal game's look and visuals. I sometimes just depends on like the storyline too, because if I want a more moody setting, I might actually go look for a different reshade, or use something that has a little bit more of like darker tones or lighter tones, just whatever I'm looking for the story. But typically if I didn't have Jen's reshade, which I will have it also linked to the Tumblr post that has all of my resources, if I didn't have Jen's reshade, honestly what I do is I just look on Pinterest a lot of times. Sometimes I'll even just Google some presets and see what pops out to me, because a lot of times too, people just have different lighting. Sometimes I've even noticed with my newest monitor that it appears brighter. I can't get it to match my other one completely, so sometimes things can look a little different to the eyes, so definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, I normally will just go to Pinterest, or I will just go to Google. Next question comes from Be Naughty. Oh my gosh, I love your profile picture, you're so pretty. So question says, how do you come up with stories for your Let's Plays? So typically what I do is I will, if I am just completely out of ideas, I most of the time will draw inspiration from TV shows, life situations that I've been in, my favorite movies, or I sometimes even have friends who are like, hey, I wish this was talked about more. So I actually have a series that's coming out probably later in the year with my Sims Nani and Aldo, and that's actually one of those situations where there's not a lot of awareness brought to it, and so I'm going to try my best to execute that and talk about it and just like really bring attention to that topic. But most of the time I just find inspiration from TV shows, movies, life experiences, and when I actually sit down and plan it, I will use Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Docs, that's what it's called. I use Google Docs to type everything up, and if I'm not at my computer, I can use it on my phone. If I don't want to use Google Docs, I can use Notepad just to jot something down really quickly, or like voice memos. But I do really like Google Docs because I'm able to customize everything, use certain layouts, and it's really beneficial. So that's typically how I go about planning my Let's Plays, and I also will plan up to like 3 episodes and then just kind of let the rest of it flow naturally. Okay, so this question comes from Miss Junie June. I love your hair. So I believe that you may have asked me this question another time, or I'm thinking of somebody else, so I'll hold off. But if I see that there's another question like this with the way that I thought it was worded, then I'll answer it that way. Okay, who is your favorite side character in all of your Let's Plays? All of my Let's Plays? That's a hard one. My favorite side character, I would definitely say Julie from Naomi. She's just such a hype girl, and I love her because she can like literally lift up any situation and get the party started. Another favorite character, I would have to say Destiny from my new current household. I really like her. And then also from my old current household, Annalise, I really love her brother Bradley and Graham. Next question comes from McKenna Gray 4366. Oh my gosh, you guys are so pretty. I always see your pictures in the comments, but I'm just taking this moment to compliment you all. So the question is, if you could only play with 3 packs, which ones and why? Definitely seasons. Seasons for sure. Growing Together and oh my gosh, final pack. Oh, that's so hard. Probably the cats and dogs. I know a lot of people don't, but you know, I'll explain. So seasons, because you know, I just love having the weather option. It kind of sucks that it's not in game, but you know, it is what it is. I love having the seasons all around and being able to experience them. The reason I like Growing Together is because it's such a huge impact on the game, and I find myself using a ton of its family features, especially as someone who is a family style player. I love all the items. I love all the interactions. My friend Ocean has an amazing Growing Together series, which I love to watch. It's just so family based and definitely one of the top tier packs. And third being cats and dogs, because Brindleton Bay alone was just executed so well. I love playing in that world. A lot of my favorite LPs have actually been in that world, and favorites of mine that I've done, and also favorites from my friends. And so I can't see myself not having a household with pets, because I am a dog lover through and through, but I also love cats and things like that. I just wish that we would have gotten like birds and other pet options, but I definitely could not go without those 3 packs. So next question comes from Charlie's Sim Life. Hi Charlie, I hope things are going well for you. Charlie says, how do you balance different social media accounts for your Sims, work/school, and personal time? So I'm gonna answer these like individually. So how do I balance social media accounts? A lot of times, I don't know if you guys know about this feature, but Instagram has it to where you can actually schedule a post. And just like YouTube, you can schedule a post, schedule an upload. And I really take advantage of those features, because there's a lot of times where I'm so busy and I'm so backed up that I have absolutely no time to post, or I get busy during the week. And so having those kind of lined up just to go up, and I don't have to think about the caption or the photos or anything like that, or the videos, it's just really nice and beneficial, especially like if you want to get some extra recording done. You won't have to be scrounging around trying to get your videos up because they're already scheduled to upload. Same thing with the post. And I just find it better for interacting and just keeping my accounts active, because one thing about YouTube, which I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but the analytics, or whatever it's called, the algorithm, the algorithm of YouTube will actually hurt you so bad if you become inactive. Like, you can definitely see your video views go down and just interactive going down. And that's because YouTube really wants you to be like like push content out constantly. And so it really helps with those scheduled uploads, because I could have like a week's worth of videos running and then be recording like during that week and then get it to keep going like that. So it's really helpful. I haven't got to that point yet, but I do use it occasionally. What are your favorite self-care activities? Oh my goodness. So favorite self-care activities are definitely spending time with my family and my son. I like cooking occasionally, not so much as of lately because I've just been really tired from this job that I'm at currently. Let's see, other self-care activities. I really enjoy just like driving around, playing Animal Crossing. What else do I do? I mean, I play The Sims for like a de-stressor sometimes, but yeah, I like to just hang out and kind of be a couch potato. I don't really like to go outside as much anymore, so it's just like, I don't know, I just love being at home and being comfortable. So definitely anything that involves me being at home watching anime. I love to unwind to a good anime. Next question comes from Candace Bookworm. What made you play The Sims, and how do you create storylines for your Sims you play with? So what made me play The Sims? A long time ago, I've talked about this many times on my channel, so I feel like I've gotten better about it. But a long time ago, when I was younger, I lost my father, and I went to counseling for it because I wasn't really communicating with others very well. I was very sheltered off into myself, and it wasn't just my father's death that I had experienced within that time frame. I had also lost like a few other family members within just that short amount of 6 months. And so it really hindered me, especially as a 6 to 7 year old child. and communication just was not like the best for me. And I remember my mom coming home and we had the PS2 and she had bought me Sims 2 Pets, I want to say was the first one I played with, or Sims 2 Stories, one of the two. And I had seen her play The Sims before on her computer, like the original Sims, but I had never like been able to play it myself because I was obviously too young and I didn't understand. But when Sims 2 came home, I remember she bought it from Kmart and I spent, no lie, all day playing that game. And it was just kind of something that stuck with me. I thought it was really cool how I had like these virtual Barbies that I could play with, because Barbie dolls, I mean, they're expensive now, but back then they were expensive for like me and my family. And so being able to have these virtual Barbies and to be able to hear songs that I listened to play on the radio in the game, and I just thought it was so cool. And so I got a lot of fun out of that. I also took a, gosh, I don't know what it's called. I think it's like an architecture class when I was in middle school. And we had like this 3D thing where we could like build houses and build rooms. And so I kind of loved that because I could integrate it into my Sims game as well. And so that's kind of what got me started. And also with the storylines, I don't know, I've just kind of been doing that since I started playing The Sims. I would always like pick it up, but I've also always had like a very big imagination. As a child, I was very imaginative. And even with my Barbies, I would sit there and I would like full on like act out a scene and have a storyline, and it's just kind of how I've always been. And so yeah, I try to think of a scenario and I like to watch it play out, and I find that that is the best way to enjoy your game versus setting goals and trying to check a list and things like that. Really immerse yourself with your Sims and get to know them and have their story develop with you. Maya, hi. Oh my gosh, I love when I see your picture pop up in my notifications as well. How are you and what's your favorite thing about content creating? So I'm actually doing really good right now. I'm in a very good place in my life. It took me a while to get to this point because I've been like up and down as of lately. Oh my gosh, I hit my keyboard. I've been up and down as lately. And I'm really happy at the place that I'm at now currently. And I hope that I can stay here for a while. But what's my favorite thing about content creating? Honestly, connecting with you guys. I love connecting with you all about my favorite game and us just geeking out together over The Sims. To be able to connect with you guys on a positive note about this game, where we can talk about the fact that there are things wrong with it, but we can also be like, you know what? This really sucks, but I still have fun playing this game and I still love this franchise. So just being able to connect that way, or even just like share our love for our Sims, that's what I love the most about content creating. Rams Ventures, hello. Do I have any guidance and tips for people who want to create a channel? So the first comment or first tip, I guess, would be definitely do what you want to do on your channel. Do not put yourself in a box and try to do things that are on trend. It can help you grow, but ultimately, if it's not something that you're into, you will find yourself a little upset with your gameplay. Definitely just, you know, take your time, really get to know your viewers. And I tell people this all the time. I actually just helped a fellow simmer on their community post one time. They had actually made a statement saying that they felt sad and discouraged because of their growth. But honestly, guys, picture yourself in a room with 5 people, just one room with 5 people. That is a lot of people. And then picture yourself, like say you have 50 subscribers, picture yourself in a room with 50 people. That is a lot of people who are listening to you and wanting to hear what you have to say and just watch your gameplay. And so no matter if you have 5, 50, 100, 1,000, whatever it may be, just appreciate those supporters that you have, and just appreciate the moment that you're into, because you have to get through these moments to get to those bigger goals. And so just appreciate where you are, appreciate your community, and take your time. Don't pressure yourself to get things done on a timeline. Just really take it step by step. So next question comes from Soul Simmers. Hello. If it's not too late, I just followed you on Instagram and saw that you were a sleep tech. Can you tell us more about this job entail? I'm really curious. And also, how do you balance content creation, work? I think you have a baby, right? I do. And also, how do you start playing Sims? How did I start playing The Sims? Okay. And which one did you start with? So the last 2 questions I did just answer. I started with The Sims 2 and explained why I started playing The Sims. I do have a baby and I do work full time, and I also take pictures. So like I do a lot of photography things off the scene, and I just do a lot. I feel like I'm really pretty busy, but I try to like make time for everything individually. So I like to do a lot of managing during the days of work. I mostly just focus on work, and I'll post on like my social platforms and things like that. And they'll probably just be like little pictures, a little community post just to check in with you guys. And then if I'm really on my ball game, I'll actually have scheduled videos go up and things like that when I'm working. And then my days off is what I use to record content, spend time with my family, and get pictures and things like that done. And so it really is just like a balanced system. I'll just pick and choose which day I'm gonna like do 2 of the things or 1 of the things or something like that. And then I love to just reserve Saturdays and Sunday mornings for me and my family, and then I have to go back to work Sunday night. And so it is quite an intense schedule, but it works for me right now. So I'm hoping that it can get a little bit better. So you want to know what a sleep technician is? So basically we watch people sleep, and I sit at a desk with 2 monitors, a keyboard and a mouse, and I'm just now getting to the point where I have 2 patients. Is this a job that I want to do long term? Absolutely not. I was in a financial situation and I needed some more money, and so I went into this career with that. But I truly, like, my heart truly lies with the dental field, and I'm hoping to get back into dental hygiene classes and get back into dental assisting. But as of right now, I'm working here, and the sleep technician is basically a person who studies sleep. So I have patients who are like children who struggle with seizures and sleep apnea. If you guys don't know what sleep apnea is, it's basically when you stop breathing in your sleep. And people who like have those really loud snores where they're like, I don't want to mimic this because it's going to sound god awful in your ears, but it's basically just like a big snort, and they kind of like stop and they hold their breath, or they like have a gasp or something like that. That's like one of the sleep apnea signs. And the crazy thing is that some people think that sleep apnea is, you know, derived from actually being overweight, whereas really what it is it can be hereditary. Sometimes it can be weight and muscle mass, but other times it can also be the hereditary thing I was referring to. So like if your grandpa has sleep apnea, there's a possibility grandpa can give it to like son, daughter, and then grandkids. And then you have some people who just bulk up and get so much muscle, like football players who have like big necks and, you know, they work out a lot up there, you know, up top area. That actually constructs their breathing as well, because if you picture your airway, it's like a circle, and the more weight and pressure that gets put on that, just picture yourself holding a garden hose, and the more you compress it, the thinner the airway is. And so that's basically what I do. Is I sit there and I watch people sleep, and I try to find ways to increase their air pressure to help them breathe at night. And sometimes it's just a matter of seeing if they need their tonsils taken out or if they are having seizures. But when I do actually use the CPAP machine and I give them a mask, it's just like basically taking a sock and putting it on a hairdryer. And then when you turn it on, the air dryer will actually create a tunnel for the air to come through. Well, the air dryer will create a tunnel in the sock for the air to come through. But that's basically all I do. There's a lot more detail to it, but to just sum it up really quickly for the purpose of this video, yeah, that's my job description. Trixie3221, have you ever felt bored of making Sims content or playing Sims in general? If so, what did you do to overcome it? So there are times when I'm playing The Sims and I do experience burnout, and I think the best way to overcome that is to sit back and to really just take a break from your game. I know it sounds crazy, but take a break from your game. Take a break from your game, support the other Simmers in the community, watch their content, and get inspired. Don't completely steal ideas and take people's concepts, but, you know, just get inspired and go from there. Like what you might see for like, you know, your favorite content creator doing, that could really just boost your enthusiasm and make you want to come back to the game and say, hey, I look at it differently now because this is how this person plays. And so I do that occasionally, but a lot of here lately, I haven't had an issue with that. And I think it's just because I've been really trying to slow burn a lot of my gameplay and take my time with them. And I have so many different routes for different stories that I don't really get bored. I've got just different scenarios for different Sims, and I think that helps me out too. So having multiple households with different stories and different types of stories, like I might have a single divorce Sim, but then I have like this wholesome family, but then I might have someone who's like living life in the cottage and taking care of the animals. And so there's always just different routes for me to go to and to play with. If I get burnt out on one family, I can always go to another family. Next question comes from my friend Roxy1255. So Roxy says, I noticed that you hide little Easter eggs in your Let's Plays. Lori, for example, in your Annalise Let's Play played a bigger role than others may have noticed. What are some more Easter eggs we may have overlooked or kept, or we should keep an eye out for? So Roxy is talking about my family tree relations. I'm trying to think where I should start. So let's start from the beginning. So I had my series Life with Gabby, and then I had Finding Solace. Finding Solace followed a woman of the name of Aspen, and then Life with Gabby followed my sim Gabby Cruz. So the way I integrated those two is that I actually had Aspen's daughter Nani end up dating Gabby's son Aldo. Forgive me because I'm gonna have to really take my time explaining this because there's a lot of connections. So when Nani and Aldo were dating, there was a point in time where they almost broke up, and Nani had a moment where she had a best male friend who she leaned upon. So if you guys are familiar with my series Naomi, stick around because Naomi's father actually was interested in Nani at one point and they almost dated, but Nani only saw him as a friend. And so when I had Naomi go to like a bridal shop, in my mind she was going to a family friend's bridal shop, aka Gabby's bridal shop, just because of all the connections. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but honestly I think that's all the Sims that I have connected. Alrighty guys, so this is editing Shiipty coming in. I actually did miss a very huge connection. So another thing to point out is if you are a fan or have watched my series Growing with Amari or Zeke and Amari, Zeke is actually Nani's cousin. Their fathers are actually brothers. And so in the version of Growing Together, Zeke and Amari are talking about like a family member with a DJ booth and everything like that. And they are talking about Aldo and Nani. And so Zeke and Amari, where they're at currently, is a little bit more of a future tense version of Nani and Aldo. They were supposed to make like an appearance in one of those videos, but I never got around to it. But yeah, Zeke. So Growing with Amari is connected to Life with Gabby and Finding Solace. And then Naomi is also connected to Life with Gabby and Finding Solace. So yeah, a lot of my Let's Plays do actually entangle with one another. So definitely be on the lookout because I might be doing it again very soon. Okay, so I found it. I knew that June asked another question. So this was the other question. So Junie said, do I have a favorite sim? If so, which one? It could be anyone's or my own. Okay, so this was the question that I was really hoping for because I was so excited to answer this. And we're just gonna start off with the top. One of my favorite sims is from my friend Ocean Sims Lovesick Let's Play. And I really am a fan of Liz. I connected with Liz on so many different levels, and I just really was a big fan of how the story has been executed and how she's gone about it. I do know that my friend is very passionate about the storyline and she puts her love and everything into those episodes, and so it's just really amazing to see how detailed that she can be. I also really like Eldon. And then another sim that I hold near and dear in my heart is June from Urban Sims Foreman's Let's Play. I absolutely love June, and then when she started her last rendition of the Foremans and said that June had passed, June and Pace, guys, I was so sad. I was so sad, but I love those sims as well. And I'm trying to think of another sim that really stuck with me. Miss Sim Reno has a Let's Play called Platonic, and the female sim from that Let's Play loved that character. The next question comes from Faith Michelle, and the question was, what type of editing software do I use? Also, how did I get the courage to start doing Let's Plays? So the editing software that I use is Wondershare Filmora. I pay a yearly subscription for this. I want to say it's $50, but there's one gripe that I do have with this program that I just recently figured out on my own. But in OBS, you can actually separate your audio tracks. So I could record on like audio track 1, my microphone, and then audio track B, my Sims gameplay. And so most people, what they can do is they can adjust both of those, and they would be able to adjust those in like Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. But because I have Wondershare Filmora, it does not recognize and separate those tracks. So that's like one of my issues with this program. But other than that, I think it's really user friendly. It's super easy. I love the $50 rate. I don't know if it's going to increase at this point because I paid for this last year. But I do just love how simple it is. I love being able to hop in and just have something so sleek and just user friendly. Like I said, I do think that Adobe Premiere has a lot more features, but the price tag I want to say is a little bit more expensive, and it's just a little too picky for me. I used Adobe Premiere in high school, but I haven't touched it since then, and so I don't remember how it works. So that's the program I use. And how did I get the courage to start doing Let's Plays? So a lot of you don't know this, but I've been on YouTube for quite some time. Probably since 2007 and 2008. I was playing an MMO game called Fly for Fun, Flife, and I used to upload my little videos from that MMO and share them like that. And I eventually started to slowly get into other things, and I used to create IMVU portraits. I didn't actually play IMVU like you were supposed to, but I would go in and I would edit pictures for people, and I'd use like my little tablet and things like that. I've been on YouTube for quite some time, and I'd say the courage, I don't know if I even had courage because, you know, back in the day we just kind of posted videos just to post videos. And I don't know, I guess I just turned it on one day and I said, let's just try this. I don't know, I was really young, so I can't remember honestly, but I would say if you are struggling with that, to really just trust yourself, believe in you, and just know at the end of the day, like, one person, at least one person is going to like you, and I can almost guarantee that more than one will. But if you're worried that you're not even gonna get like 5 or 6 to like you, just remind yourself, like, there is a group of people who like the same things that I like. It's gonna be okay. So just try to keep that in your mind if it is something that you are struggling with. Next question comes from my friend Janelle6, and she says, why are you so fabulous and talented? Girl. We have been friends for a long time, so this is very common for her to ask me a question like this. But I try to be good. I try. But yeah, guys, that kind of wraps up all the questions that I had today. If you all have any other questions, or if you want to ask me some more things, please feel free to comment those down below in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to ask me these questions, and I'm very happy I could answer them for you, and hopefully we got to get to know each other a little bit better. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I will be talking to you all very, very soon. Bye everyone. And we could keep the pace on slow, yeah. Don't leave me on red. Can we go back where we first began? No plans, all we had was the moment.